Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Cooper, and in this short video I'm going to be explaining how my ethics class is going to be dealing with changes in artificial intelligence and tools to create better essays. So let me get into it. First of all, let me say what I have to do with this. I've been teaching philosophy for a while, but have recently got my PhD, which involved aspects relating to natural language processing in artificial intelligence. So while I was working on my dissertation, I was working with the Advancing Machine and Human Reasoning Lab at USF and attending lots of interesting AI conferences. So my take here is reflective of that. Some caveats to keep in mind is that ChatGPT, the program that has prompted this video, is a brand new technology and is still being tinkered with and improved. It might have some more improvements before it runs into fundamental limitations of its language model. So I'm not sure quite how good the technology is going to become yet, at least not for sure. There are also many excellent rival chatbots who are rushing to market because OpenAI's ChatGPT software is so successful. So a lot of other firms are rushing to compete. And of course, that this new technology has proved so popular so far that it's difficult even to test it to my own satisfaction because it just gets overloaded. That in mind, let me talk about the problems that ChatGPT has posed. Long-standing model of assessing students making the assignments in a ethics class or a philosophy class more generally is to assign them a long essay that's due at the end of the class. As some professors may be willing to admit, up until this point, students could demonstrate at least a certain low level of competence in the field by showing that they have a basic working knowledge of the relevant definitions combined with a working knowledge of effective English grammar, turning it into a very low-level essay without much depth of logic or assessment. And it used to be that professors would give essays like that a low but passing grade. This is not going to be an option for professors going forward because ChatGPT and other programs like that are able to come up with so much effective grammatical fluff to insert into essays or to make essays entirely. Students can create long essays in seconds of that sort of low quality, while higher level student writing has always demonstrated better knowledge of the logic of the arguments and better references to the source material. In addition to problems figuring out who the low-level students are that should pass but not pass with flying colors, we also have integrity problems that ChatGPT brings up because, of course, there's no way to effectively cite work that you've co-written with AI right now. So when students use AI work, most often they'll be passing off AI-written work as if it's their own originally written text. There are three main problems with that I see. Number one, it's dishonest and unfair to students who didn't use those sorts of AI tools. Number two, it doesn't credit the programmers of the AI because that, of course, was a very complicated task and those people deserve credit too. If you're benefiting from their work, you should let us know. But we don't have any way to effectively do that right now. And all of these big language models like ChatGPT are based off of a large corpus of original human texts that were analyzed as part of building the larger language model. And of course, when you're co-writing things with AI, you don't credit those original authors' work that was used to create the language model. So you're benefiting from it, but you're concealing it. And that's just a deception that's problematic. So the upshot of all this is that the golden age of bullshitting is over. And I'd love to say that because throughout my teaching career, I've had all sorts of students giving me all this fluff and saying, since the beginning of time, this or that happened, or the dictionary defines key word as blank. There's a lot of really not very effective filler. And now that the golden age of bullshitting is over, anybody can generate that sort of filler in seconds, and it proves nothing. So I can give students no credit for doing that, for better or worse. And the upside of that is that we can make more clever homework assignments that focus on skills that the AI just can't do yet, such as making effective references and including an overall structure of logic in your writing. So bullshitting can't do those things, and neither can AI. So those are the things that homework is going to focus on from now on. It's going to focus on the things that AI programs are bad at. This serves two purposes. It's an assessment purpose. That way we can prevent this particular sort of cheating from being effective, but also for educational purposes, because going forward, we're probably going to have more and more advanced tools to help us write grammatical English. And students are going to be able to use those in their professional career. So it's good for the students to learn skills over and above what those AI things can bring them. And of course, we're not going to have long essays anymore, because AI can help you pad out the length of an essay with bullshit. So I've created a homework assignment specifically to aim at those things that AI is bad at, that I'm introducing here. And I'll show you some examples of what I'm talking about on the next slide. So my argument practice homeworks are going to start with a numbered list of premises and a conclusion in natural language, meaning just regular English. Those numbered premises should be essentially summaries of the basic steps you need in your argument. So all of your premises should contribute to proving your conclusion. And below that, you'll have a full text explanation of your argument that is minimum 1 page long. I'm going to be assessing the numbered list of premises and conclusion and the full text argument below based on the rubric that I've provided to you online, fundamentally based on the logic of your argument and how well you make your references. And here's an example of the assignment. The numbered premises and conclusion I have at the start are showing you a model of the simplest sort of moral argument you can make. Now, of course, you can make much more complicated arguments. You can make them with a lot more premises. You can make them with symbolic logic. I'm not requiring any of that. Just give me some basic statements summarizing the steps of your argument. And the bare minimum to make an effective moral argument includes 3 lines at the very least. First line is some fact about the world. In this case, I'm using little Timmy hit his classmate without a reason, without cause. So that's a fact about the world, and I haven't really judged little Timmy for it. I've just said what he did and given a little hint about his lack of motivation there. The second premise will be the relevant moral consideration, the rule or other thing that is most important to the moral picture here. In this case, I've provided the premise, hitting people is wrong when it causes unnecessary suffering. You want to be careful of that, because I don't want to outlaw self-defense. I'm not that sort of pacifist in this argument. You want to be careful framing your moral premise. Finally, you'll bring your facts about the world and your moral premises together in your conclusion. Say something like, little Timmy did something wrong. Combining little Timmy's action from the first fact with the judgment that it was wrong in the second fact. Prove my conclusion. Once you've got those 3 short lines at the minimum, you'll provide me with 1 full page of text explaining the argument. You don't have to arrange your paragraphs this way, but one thing I suggest is that now that you've already separated your argument into 3 distinct ideas at the minimum, you might devote a paragraph to each of those ideas, explaining them more fully. If you do that and have an effective citation, which is also part of the grade, in your argument, you should do well. So, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in class.